Now from Times Square, here's what you need to know.
That'll put a smile on your face right there. A lot of Knicks fans smiling this morning as well.
Me being one of them.
Good morning, America.
We have a lot to get to this morning. Also ahead, the latest on mortgage rates, now up for the 5th week in a row, just as home buying season starts to heat up. As you get ready to start your commute this morning, I-95 still feeling the effects after that fiery crash. We are live on the scene as you see it backing up there.
But we begin this morning with the severe weather, a flooding emergency for millions, and at least 10 reported tornadoes, including a twister that rippled through Holly, Texas. Maria Villarreal is there on the scene for us. Good morning, Maria.
People living in this area, they knew that there would be rain, they knew that there'd be severe weather, but they never expected anything like this. The sheer magnitude of this tornado that ripped through here completely destroyed the home that you see right behind me. And over my left-hand shoulder, you can see debris is scattered everywhere. There is actually metal roofing from a nearby home in this tree.
We watched the tornado touch down right behind our house.
Overnight, tornadoes touching down in central Texas.
That was scary. That was really scary.
At least one tornado confirmed near Abilene, west of Dallas. This one touching down in Holly.
Thing is just sitting there,
leaving significant damage in its wake. Homes torn apart, trucks tossed around, storm chasers scouring the debris looking for victims. And from above, the sheer scope of the destruction on full display. Millions of other Texans face dangerous storms across the state. Around Houston, life-threatening flooding.
In 25 years that I've lived here, I have never seen it flood like this.
Parts of Texas reporting 28 inches of rain in just 48 hours, stranding drivers.
What are you doing? You're driving into the creek. No, stop! Stop! No!
Onlookers screaming as rushing water swept this car away in College Station, Texas, northwest of Houston. Authorities and neighbors aiding rescue efforts.
2, 3. Get too late. We got it.
Up to 10 inches of rain falling in some areas.
The creeks sometimes fill up, but never in our house like this.
So it's inside of your house?
Yes, we've got about 10 inches inside.
We spoke with the sheriff's deputy that is actually keeping watch over this area. He said it is an absolute blessing. As far as he knows, nobody was killed in this particular tornado, but definitely a lot of damage. And the governor of Texas has also issued a disaster declaration for more than 50 counties. That is ahead of another day of severe weather in this region. Guys.
Yeah, we're hoping they can get a break. Maria, thank you so much for that. Let's bring in Sam Champion with the forecast. Good morning, Sam.
Michael, good morning. Good morning, everyone. You know Houston well. We've got flooding problems there, but this is not a normal rainfall pattern. We've had about 30 inches of rain within the last 30 days, 2 11-inch rain events this week in eastern Texas, and there is more headed. We've got active flood warnings out there right now. So we're going to watch how these storms move a little bit back into the same area during the day today. As we set up the weekend, here's the threat for more storms, damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadoes. Yes, here in Kansas, but I think our bigger problem will be Texas with the potential for tornadoes there. Here we've got another line of heavy rain, and this is more flooding possible. When you look at Abilene there, look at the rain that could be 2 to 4 inches here. And as we set up next week's storms, that's right, we're already talking about more next week, Monday into Tuesday. Look at where the bullseye is for some strong tornadoes possible there. That is again Kansas, Oklahoma, back into Nebraska as well. We'll watch that start to slide to the east. Damaging winds, hail, large tornadoes are possible not only this weekend, but all the way into next week. George, when we come back, we're going to talk about some record heat.
Okay, Sam, thanks. We're getting the latest now on Donald Trump's criminal trial in Manhattan. Stormy Daniels' former attorney took the stand, was grilled by the defense as jurors heard audio tapes of Trump discussing the deal. Aaron Katursky is at the courthouse. Good morning, Aaron.
And George, good morning to you. Trial's going to pick up here this morning with evidence pulled from Michael Cohen's phone, including a secretly recorded call with Keith Davidson about the $130,000 hush payment to his client, Stormy Daniels, that's at the center of the case.
12 days before the 2016 presidential election, Keith Davidson sent a 2-word text about a $130,000 wire transfer he accepted on behalf of his client, adult film actress Stormy Daniels. The message said, "Funds received." It was some of the jury's first direct evidence of the hush payment that prosecutors said Donald Trump tried to conceal from voters by falsifying business records. After Trump won the election, Davidson texted, "What have we done?" What did you mean when you say, "What have we done?" the prosecutor asked Davidson, who responded that our activities may have in some way assisted the presidential campaign of Donald Trump. Months later, Davidson was on the phone with Michael Cohen, who said Trump often complained about paying Daniels.
And I can't even tell you how many times he said to me, I hate the fact that we did it. And my comment to him was, but every person that you've spoken to told you it was the right move.
I attributed that to be a quote from Mr. Trump, Davidson testified. About what, the prosecutor asked? The Stormy Daniels settlement. On cross-examination, the defense suggested Trump was the victim of a shakedown by a lawyer steeped in tabloid tactics over celebrity stories involving Hulk Hogan, former MTV reality star Tila Tequila, and Charlie Sheen. The defense asking, in 2016, you were pretty well versed in getting right up to the line without committing extortion, right? I had familiarized myself with the law, Davidson responded.
Trump is still awaiting a ruling from the judge whether to hold him in contempt for a second time over gag order violations. Janae, the judge seemed particularly concerned about remarks Trump made about the jury, suggesting it's unfair. Janae?
A lot to continue watching there, Aaron. Thank you. Now to the travel nightmare for millions in the Northeast this morning after a fiery crash shut down a key part of I-95 in both directions. The governor of Connecticut declaring a state of emergency. You can see how traffic is backing up there this morning. Ariel Reshef is on the scene in Norwalk, Connecticut with the very latest. And Ariel, drivers will be feeling the pain of this shutdown for quite some time.
They sure will, Janae. Take a look. You can see the traffic is already at a crawl this morning as they divert it to side streets. And over here, you can see the highway completely shut down here as crews worked overnight to start to tear down that charred bridge. Firefighters say that wall of fire was so powerful yesterday, it took 3 hours to put it out.
This morning, a state of emergency and widespread ripple effects up the East Coast after that raging bridge inferno.
We're lucky we were a little closer than this.
A key portion of I-95 outside New York City expected to be shut down in both directions at least until Monday in the aftermath of a harrowing crash involving a semi carrying nearly 9,000 gallons of gasoline.
Be advised, the Fairfield Ave overpass is completely engulfed on the southbound side.
Officials say it started Thursday morning when a tractor trailer collided with a vehicle.
One car cut off a tractor trailer. This one here, the gasoline tanker, swerved to avoid it and ripped open the back of the gasoline, went down the road. He ended up stopping under the bridge. 4,000
gallons of gasoline spilling onto the roadway, igniting a ball of flames under the overpass. The bridge quickly engulfed, fire so hot it bent steel, rendering the 10-year-old bridge structurally unsound. Authorities say the bridge must come down.
It is a contiguous beam bridge, which means the beams go across both spans of the highway. Unfortunately, it's not able to be safely reopened in either direction underneath that bridge.
160,000 vehicles pass here in both directions each day, including tractor trailers hauling goods from Florida to Maine. Those drivers now forced to detour. Traffic expected to remain a nightmare for days. Almost 1 year ago, a similar scene, a tanker causing this fire on another part of I-95 in Philadelphia, snarling traffic for weeks.
And when you see those images from yesterday, it's truly remarkable that no one was seriously hurt. Crews have removed all of that gasoline that spilled onto the roadway, and officials say the air quality is just fine here. But public schools in this area are closed today because of this mess, and many companies are urging their employees to work from home. Again, this stretch of I-95 could be closed at least until Monday. George.
Wow, okay, Ariel, thanks. We're going to turn now to America's colleges in turmoil. New crackdowns overnight on pro-Palestinian campuses across the nation as the number of protesters arrested in recent weeks has now surpassed 2,000. Trevor Alt is in Los Angeles with the latest. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, George. So this is where the UCLA encampment was set up. You see this morning, it is now just an empty quad. And we watched 24 hours ago as law enforcement tore it apart and arrested more than 200 people. But a lot of those demonstrators are already released, and they're vowing to press on as new protests and more intense clashes with police are happening every day.
Move! Overnight chaos at Portland State University. Police say protesters re-established an encampment inside the school's library.
Portland police, leave the building now! Force will be used against you!
Law enforcement had cleared out that same building earlier that day after demonstrators had barricaded themselves inside.
Come on, police!
at least 30 arrests throughout the day. A new video showing the dramatic moments this car drove toward Israel-Hamas war protesters Thursday. The driver firing what appears to be pepper spray. He was later taken into custody, police citing mental health concerns. And in New York City, the NYPD releasing new body camera footage as officers cleared this building protesters seized at Columbia University. Officials say nearly half of the 284 people arrested at Columbia and nearby City College Tuesday were not affiliated with the schools. Meanwhile, some are praising a group of fraternity brothers at UNC Chapel Hill, seen protecting an American flag that pro-Palestinian demonstrators were trying to take down. A fundraising website for them now raising more than $500,000. And at the University of Texas at Austin, a very different environment. A Jewish and Palestinian student group working to create space for both sides to have an open conversation.
We believe inherently in a conflict like this, there needs to be a space for dialogue to have a mutual understanding.
And make no mistake, a lot of people celebrated the removal of this encampment here at UCLA, but not everyone is happy with how it was carried out. In fact, the largest employee union for the University of California system is considering a strike over how these pro-Palestinian demonstrators were treated. George?
Okay, Trevor, thanks. And with the protests raging on college campuses, our new ABC News Ipsos poll takes a look at Americans' shifting views on U.S. policy towards Israel. Our senior congressional correspondent, Rachel Scott, is here with the details. Good morning.
Hey, George. Good morning to you. Look, there is no question, as we've seen in Trevor's reporting, that college campuses are really becoming the epicenter for the outrage and frustration over the Israel-Hamas war. But our poll finds that there's no evidence that younger Americans are viewing this any more differently than older Americans. What is clear is that the country is deeply divided over this and perhaps only growing more skeptical over support for Israel. So our poll finds that nearly 4 in 10 Americans say that the United States is doing too much to support Israel. That's up several percentage points since our last poll in January, with some notable shifts among independents. Then on the other end of this, you have nearly a third of Americans who say that the United States is not doing nearly enough to protect Palestinian civilians who were caught in the middle of all of this conflict. And that question in particular, that frustration really is being driven by the liberal wing of the president's party, Democrats, progressives who are really frustrated with the president's handling over this issue. We remember looking back to the primaries in Wisconsin and Michigan, we saw those protest votes over this issue when it comes to President Biden. That is a huge warning sign for the president in these critical battleground states where a few thousand votes, as we saw last election, could really decide it all, George.
No question about it, Rachel. Thanks very much. Michael?
All right. Thank you, George. Now to Halle Berry on Capitol Hill. The Oscar winner is hoping to put the spotlight on menopause. Eva Pilgrim is here with more. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. Halle Berry shouting about menopause on the steps of the Capitol. The actress in D.C. trying to drum up support and bring attention to a bill that would fund research and education on menopause. Now, the legislation being introduced by a bipartisan group of female senators. Berry sharing her own story, struggling to deal with the hormonal shift going through perimenopause, saying this female rite of passage needs to be destigmatized and better understood.
I'm in menopause! Okay? The shame has to be taken out of menopause. We have to talk about this very normal part of our life that happens. Our doctors can't even say the word to us, let alone walk us through the journey of what our menopausal years look like or our years after that.
So how much money are we talking about for this bill? $275 million. Those dollars would go to clinical trials on menopause, as well as a hormone therapy to deal with the symptoms. Will this happen? Yes, they have bipartisan support, but these female senators will need their male colleagues to sign on if they have any hope of getting it passed, Janae.
And hopefully they get that right, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, hopefully they do, Eva. Thank you. Now to the
What else are we going to say?
Exactly. Now to the NBA playoffs, and we know one or maybe two fans who are excited about the New York Knicks advance to the second round overnight. Look at this guy eliminating the Philadelphia 76ers. Will Reeve, you are one of them, and you've got the highlights for us. Good morning, Will.
Go New York, no, go New York, go. Janae, good morning to you. Game 6 was an instant classic in a series full of them. The Knicks racing out to a 22-point lead. And then Philly fighting all the way back, and it was a battle to the finish. The Knicks escaping with a 3-point win led by star Jalen Brunson. He had 40-plus points for the third straight game. His Knicks and former Villanova teammates Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo with huge plays down the stretch to send New York into the second round, and the crowd was buzzing the whole night. Wells Fargo Center invaded by Knicks fans, but not as many as last game because there were 2,000 fewer tickets available. The 76ers ownership gave out those free tickets to local Philadelphians who deserved them. Waiting for the Knicks now in round 2, the Indiana Pacers. They knocked out the Milwaukee Bucks. That was Indiana's first playoff series win in a decade. It's a great time to be an Indiana basketball fan. Caitlin Clark making her WNBA debut here in Dallas tonight in a preseason game. The Mavericks and the Stars also playing playoff games tonight, so it's going to be a great night in Dallas and a great morning in Dallas. We have a whole bunch of surprises for some fans throughout our show, guys.
A whole bunch. That's right. Will is going to have the first of our ticket giveaway surprises just ahead.
Looking forward to that. Also coming up,
our ABC News exclusive with a dad facing more than a decade behind bars for bringing ammunition on vacation to the Turks and Caicos. We'll be right back.
Step into the world of Hollywood like never before with Melissa Rivers' Group Text podcast. Melissa, renowned for her red carpet expertise and storytelling prowess, invites you to join her and her famous friends for hilarious and heartfelt conversations. From discussing the latest binge-worthy TV shows, navigating the highs and lows of life, and dissecting celebrity fashion, there is never a dull moment. With exclusive stories from special guests like Chelsea Handler, Cheryl Hines, your favorite reality stars, and deep dives into intriguing topics like the Where is Wendy Williams documentary, this podcast offers an insider's look into the glitz and glam of Tinseltown. It's not just Melissa's podcast. It's a collective experience where you're invited to join the conversation. So if you've ever wanted a peek behind the Hollywood curtain, subscribe to Melissa Rivers' Group Text podcast now on your favorite platform. Get ready for laughter, tears, gossip. In other words, unforgettable moments that'll keep you coming back for more. Don't miss out. This is one group text you won't want to exit.
We've got the exclusive view behind the table. Every day, right after the show, while the topics are still hot, the ladies go deeper into the moments that make the view the view. The Views Behind the Table podcast. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to GMA. Ike Ajachi stopped by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. My man looked like he's trying to earn himself a spot playing that saxophone. There we go.
Look at him. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic.
That's pretty great. One of those hidden talents.
Yes, so glad to see him with that saxophone. We have a lot from Cleveland ahead, including the incredible story of two very special helpers at Cleveland Clinic Children's.
Looking forward to that. Following a lot of headlines right now, including a severe weather or flooding emergency for millions after 28 inches of rain fell in just 48 hours. Drivers were stranded. There were at least 10 tornadoes reported, including a twister that ripped through Hawley, Texas. Also right now, a January 6th rider who pleaded guilty to multiple felony counts has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Ryan Nichols shot pepper spray at officers during the Capitol riot, later threatened more violence. He's also been fined $200,000. Also, investigators are holding young voters responsible after they were caught dumping trash in the Atlantic off the coast of Florida. Authorities say they have 2 suspects and charges are imminent.
And President Biden will honor 19 people with the Medal of Freedom later in the day. The list was just made public, and it includes former Vice President Al Gore, former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, and the woman called the grandmother of Juneteenth, Opal Lee, and Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh. To see the full list, head to our website, goodmorningamerica.com. Congratulations to them. And we've got a lot more ahead, including a look at the research program trying to recruit more than 1 million people to help improve medical care for all people. Don't want to miss that. That's coming up.
We have an exclusive interview now with a Pennsylvania man who could be sentenced to more than a decade in prison for bringing hunting ammunition into the Turks and Caicos. He and his wife sat down with Matt Rivers. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, George. In just a few hours from now at that courthouse behind me, an American man could learn if he will go to prison here in Turks and Caicos for 12 years, a punishment that he says does not fit his crime.
It's been nothing short of a struggle, a nightmare. This morning, an exclusive interview with American's Brian Hagerich and his wife Ashley, as Brian faces sentencing, what could be a dozen years in a Turks and Caicos prison after airport security here found ammunition in his suitcase back in February.
When you see them grab the box of ammo and you realize that it's in there, what's the first thing that goes through your head?
Just complete utter surprise, shock. I was honestly unsure of what's next.
The family has been coming to Turks and Caicos for years, their kids aged 6 and 4, counting down the days each time before another beach trip.
I would certainly say it was probably the best one that we've had yet.
Vacation over, about to board a flight home to Pennsylvania, Brian says his name was called over the PA system. His checked bag had been selected for a random search. Authorities then found hunting ammo Brian says he'd forgotten was in there after a recent trip. In a matter of minutes, he was arrested in front of his kids and taken away.
I remember pleading, can't we just give this to you? Can't we just pay a fine? It was an honest mistake. And it was a firm no. So it was quick, and the kids were crying, and we said goodbye. And just disbelief is probably the best word I can even use to describe it.
Brian went to jail, spending 8 nights inside.
Those were the absolute darkest days and nights of my life.
A tough amendment to a law in Turks and Caicos set a minimum 12-year sentence for anyone found with illegal guns or ammunition. The State Department and U.S. Embassy posting advisories about the law. It was designed to combat rising violence and weapons trafficking in the island nation, but it's also ensnared Americans who say they're nothing more than forgetful tourists.
So this is our sleeping quarters.
Now, out on bail, Brian shares an Airbnb with another American recently charged under the law, Ryan Watson.
This is probably the loneliest I've ever been in my entire life. To have somebody that's experiencing the very same thing as you, it gives you some bit of support.
Both men are fathers of 2 young kids, children who understand their dads aren't home, but don't really get why.
The first question I'm asked at the start of every day, and the last question I'm asked before I put my kids to bed at night is, when is my daddy coming home?
Brian missing major milestones, including both children's birthdays. He's scared he won't get to see his daughter graduate kindergarten, or even possibly high school.
12 years is a long time, and just all those special things, you look forward to as a parent, knowing that you potentially couldn't be there for those. That's what keeps me up at night.
A court will soon decide Brian's sentence. He accepts he did something wrong.
What do you say to the people who say, look, you broke the law? It's a shame what your family's going through, but you broke the law here.
Right. And I'm the first to acknowledge that I take full responsibility for my actions. I'm not one that is out here asking for forgiveness and to just let me go away. There are alternative ways that this can be handled and dealt with that are within the laws of Turks and Caicos that will allow me to return home to my family. And we are just ever so prayerful that there's thought and consideration given that can allow that to happen.
I just ask for a little grace from people to understand that we're all human, and this was an honest mistake.
I'm a good person. We love this island, we love the people, we love the culture, everything about it. One honest mistake, to please don't let that define me for the next 12 years.
Now, Hagerich will have his sentencing hearing today, but there's no guarantee he'll find out what exactly his sentence will be. The judge in this case, guys, has up to 14 days to decide.
All right, Matt, thank you. That's tough. What a story that is, George. You're right. Coming up next, we have our play of the day. Will Reeve is live in Dallas with a few surprises. Hey, Will.
Hey there, Michael. I'm at a local watering hole in Dallas with all these great fans. We have so much in store for you throughout the show today. We love Dallas. These folks love their teams. We're going to reward them for it. You got to stay tuned.
We're back now with our Friday play of the day, kicking off our huge Dallas ticket giveaway. Let's go back to Will Reeve in Texas. How's it going, Will?
It's going great, Michael. Good morning to you. I'm at Happiest Hour, which is a local establishment in the heart of downtown Dallas. Would have been a great place to watch those big games last night and tonight as well, because there's so much going on in Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Stars are both with 3-2 leads in their playoff series they play tonight. And the Dallas Wings, the WNBA team, they have a preseason game that's sold out. And you want to know why? The Caitlin Clark effect. She's making her pro debut here in Dallas tonight. And so everyone's super excited for that game. And no one more than Lubbock Smith. I'm going to bring over, where are you? There you are, right here. Hello.
How you doing?
Good to see you. Oh, that, we really messed up that handshake. All right, thank you. All right, we're going to move forward from that, and it's going to be a great experience for both of us, and I'll explain why in a second. But first, Caitlin Clark making her pro debut here in Dallas in a preseason game. You excited to watch? What do you think?
Very excited. She did a great job playing at Iowa in college. Got to see her myself play when they lost to LSU the year before. But yeah, I think she's going to dominate. But when they play against the Wings, it's going to be a different story.
It is going to be a different story, and you're going to help write it because we wanted to send you to the game along with the Dallas Wings. Come on in there.
Hey.
This ticket won't get you in. That's a fake ticket. We're going to get you the real ones off camera, but you go have a great time tonight. Who are you going to bring?
I'm definitely bringing my daughter. She's a huge fan. Anything that I do, whether it's I'm at the bank or doing real estate or going to celebrate the Wings, she's always going to celebrate too.
Well, have a fabulous time. Enjoy the Wings. Enjoy the Caitlin Clark effect. Enjoy the time with your daughter. Everyone, let's give a round of applause for Lubbock and the Wings. All right, that's part one. The Wings are in action tonight, but we still got the Mavs and the Stars coming up. So much more coming up on GMA here from Dallas, guys.
That's one. We've got a ticket giveaway hat trick coming up, so two more still.
All right.
Congratulations to Lubbock. Yeah. Coming up, we are rising and shining in Cleveland with two very special members of the team at Cleveland Clinic Children. Stick around. We are back now with our bonus play of the day on this Friday morning, and we are going back to Dallas, where Will Reeve is hosting our ticket giveaway bonanza. One down. Will, what else do you got?
I got so much more in store today. Good morning again. I'm in the Harwood District, downtown Dallas. It's going to be jump-in tonight because the Dallas Stars of the NHL are up 3-2 in their first-round series against the Vegas Golden Knights, the defending Stanley Cup champions. It is going to be an epic game. The Stars have big aspirations, and we have some big Stars fans right here. Jakay and Mike Brown, guys, great to see you. Thank you for being with us. And you're super excited for tonight. The Stars have extra meaning to you because you had your first date at a Stars game. How'd that one go?
Yes, we found out that we both had the game in common. Like we were both Stars fans, so we decided to go to a game together, and the rest is history.
I feel like you guys should go to a game together tonight. You want some tickets? Yeah. All right, bring on some tickets. What? There you go. Thank you to our friends at the NHL. We are getting you a pair of tickets tonight in person in Las Vegas. Your flight, your accommodations are covered. You'll be staying at the Fontainebleau Hotel. And all you got to do is get out of here and go pack. Oh my God. How about that, guys? Fired up for the Dallas Stars. That's a pretty good giveaway. Jakay, you got to come back here. That's not a real ticket. So we're going to get you everything. How you feeling, quickly?
Oh, thank you so much. This is awesome.
All right.
Overwhelming. Excited, yeah.
Overwhelming. You bring that Stars green, maybe bring home a little extra green when you come back from Vegas, if you know what I'm saying. Guys, there you go. That's surprise number 2. They're going to Vegas. We've got more coming up in our next hour.
That's so
Let's go.
That's good, Will. You guys got some tickets.
She tried to take the big ticket.
I would try it.
I got to turn down the volume on my earpiece.
She was excited. Hey, there's still much more to come. We're going to rise and shine in Cleveland with one of the dogs that puts the smiles on young patients' faces. Ike is there.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Overnight, tornadoes touched down in Texas, destroying homes, tossing trucks. Storm chasers search the debris for victims as millions face a flooding emergency. 28 inches of rain in just 48 hours, stranding drivers. Sam is tracking the new threat right now.
From the classroom to the White House, the historic event for the teachers who help others make their dreams come true. We got ready with the National Teacher of the Year. Unlocking our health inside the massive research program, collecting data on more people than ever before, including our Becky Worley.
for science.
How it can help improve medical care for all people and even our diets.
Plus, we're live in Dallas as the Mavericks get ready for a big playoff matchup. We've got our grand finale of superfan surprises.
And Cleveland calling. Rise and Shine is live from Ohio this morning with a very special team. Wait until you meet Trotter and Kid, who have an extra special connection to their patients. And we have a big surprise ahead as we say, Good morning, America! And good morning to that great crowd in my hometown of Cleveland.
Yeah, and our music man. Yeah, you didn't know that?
I've Googled him a million times, but I don't remember that far.
You say Cleveland legend, he pops up, trust me. Our music man, Ike Ajachi, he is there also. He stopped by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Going to have a lot ahead, including, yeah, there he is. Play it, Ike. Yeah, we have the incredible story of two very special helpers at Cleveland Clinic Children's.
Just so impressed by Ike there. Also ahead, the latest on mortgage rates, now up for the 5th week in a row, just as home buying season starts to heat up. Rebecca is here with when it just might ease up.
I'm still trying to ponder you Googling me too much.
Yeah, that Friends episode, there's a lot to look up. I know a lot about George Stephanopoulos.
Let's take a look at the top. Let's take a look at the top stories breaking down. We're going to start with that severe weather. Flooding emergency for millions. At least 10 tornadoes reported, including one that ripped through Hawley, Texas. Sam is in for Ginger. Good morning, Sam.
Yeah, hey, good morning, George. Guys, we've had way too many tornadoes in April that were damaging, and everything just gets ramped up and worse in May. So here we go. Yesterday, 10 tornadoes reported in 3 states. You're looking at this one near Abilene, and you can see that big dust kick up and all the damage that was on the ground. I do want to talk about this College Station flooding video. So this looked like a parking lot filled with water. Sure, you can drive through it, but on the other side is a flooding creek. This lady drove through it into that flood water. It took the car. I believe she was okay. But folks, this is why we say you don't drive through water, because you don't know what's underneath it, even if it looks like it's flat. Flooding continues this morning. We've got these flood warnings that are just ripping through that area. More than 30 inches of rain in the last 30 days in that eastern part of Texas onto Louisiana, Abilene to Wichita Falls. This is going to be 2 to 4 additional inches of rain. And we're not done yet. We've got more storms certainly coming down in. This is what happens today. Abilene, San Angelo, Lubbock, one of the areas that is going to see the possibility of tornadoes in this. There's just a lot of rain right now in Texas, Michael, as you know, and Houston doesn't handle flooding well.
Yeah, not well at all, Sam. All right, thank you so much for that. Going to turn now to the White House, honoring America's top teachers last night, including the National Teacher of the Year. Senior White House correspondent Selena Wang was there, and ABC got an exclusive behind-the-scenes access. Good morning, Selena.
Hey, good morning to you, Michael. Yeah, the White House for the first time hosting a state dinner for teachers. Now, these are lavish events for heads of state, but this time teachers got to experience the glitz and glam, and we got that exclusive look behind the scenes. Overnight, the White House hosting the first ever Teachers of the Year state dinner. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden toasting honorees from nearly every state and territory.
All of you were called to this profession for a reason. You believe that a better world is possible, and you make that world real.
President Biden making a surprise appearance.
Teaching is not what you do, it's who you are.
Missy Testerman, who's been teaching for over 3 decades and teaches English as a second language to elementary and middle school students in Tennessee, was honored as the National Teacher of the Year.
There's just nothing else I want to do. It's just part of who I am.
ABC News catching up with her as she got ready for the big event.
I want people watching in my hometown to feel proud, to feel seen.
Testerman hoping to use her platform to encourage other teachers to advocate for students.
Why is teaching so important to you?
Teaching is so important because it's how this country moves forward. Educators make every single other profession possible.
And guys, Missy Testerman said in her speech last night that teachers make democracy possible by educating the next generation. And look, the learning goes both ways. She told me that her students have taught her courage, calling them her heroes. Janae?
Hard to overstate the impact of great educators. Selena, thank you. Now to mortgage rates on the rise this morning, increasing for the 5th week in a row. Chief Economics Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis is here with why this is happening as the home selling season kicks into high gear. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning to you, Janae. Yeah, it is hard out here for home buyers and sellers with rates climbing for 5 weeks in a row. According to Freddie Mac, the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage is now 7.22%. Rates are rising at a critical time. As you just said, Janae, sales for more than 1 in 3 homes are typically bought between the spring in March and June. And the contrast between today and 2 years ago is really stark. Back then, you could get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage for 5.5%. Now, to put that into real terms, if you bought a $400,000 house in May of 2022, the mortgage would have run you about $1,800 a month. At today's rate, it will cost you $2,200 or $400 a month more. Now, the question that I get at least once a day is, when are rates going lower? The good news is that the Fed continues to signal its next move is going to be a rate cut. In other words, lower mortgage rates ahead, but that is unlikely to happen until the fall because of heightened inflation, and it just continues to be stubborn, Janae.
It certainly does. That's why everyone's asking you about it, Rebecca. But we're also getting new jobs numbers this morning.
That's right. And analysts are expecting 240,000 jobs were added in April. That is down from March, but still strong, and one more reason that the Fed is likely to keep rates where they are. Janae?
All right. Good reminders there. We will still be asking you when they could be coming down, Rebecca.
Yeah. Every day, I'll answer it.
100% about that. All right, coming up in our GMA morning menu, inside the research program, collecting data on more people than ever before, trying to broaden our understanding of medicine and wellness.
Also ahead, we're going back to Dallas for our 3rd ticket giveaway surprise.
Plus, Hack star Hannah Einbinder is here to talk about the new season, and Sam is up there with Lori B.
Yeah, and Lori and I have decided to start a new trend, George. You're not cool if your beverage doesn't match your outfit. By the way, we're putting the right spin on the right stuff. Lori's here with blenders.
That's right. I have great picks for everyone, including you, Sam Champion. So
wait.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. Coming up on GMA. We'll see you in a minute, guys.
The sun isn't really out yet here in New York. I'm just looking at Sam's shirt, though.
Oh!
And it's shining bright, baby. Shining bright here in our studio.
Do you need shades? Do you need shades now?
I love it, Sam. Oh, we're back now on GMA cover story in our series, The Science of You, looking at a groundbreaking and massive study being performed by the National Institutes of Health that could be a game changer for health research. Becky Worley joined us not just to report on the story, but as always, Becky, you dove in. You're also a part of it. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael. Yeah, I'm not sure there's ever been a bigger study than this. Almost 800,000 people already enrolled, extreme amounts of data being collected. They're looking for even more participants. The goal to broaden our understanding of medicine by including everyone and using data that's only now becoming possible to analyze.
Hey, I'm Andy Mitchell, a New York Times bestselling author.
And I'm Sabrina Kohlberg, a morning television producer. We're moms of toddlers and best friends of 20 years.
And we both love to talk about being parents, yes, but also pop culture.
So we're combining our 2 interests by talking to celebrities, writers, and fellow scholars of TV and movies.
Cinema, really.
About what we all can learn from the fictional moms we love to watch.
From ABC Audio and Good Morning America, Pop Culture Moms is out now wherever you listen to podcasts.
The first ever criminal trial of a former president is underway in Manhattan. It's one of potentially 4 trials facing former President Trump as he makes his 3rd bid for the White House. What do voters think about his culpability, and would a guilty verdict make a difference in the election? I'm Galen Druk, and every Monday and Thursday on the 538 Politics podcast, we break down the latest news from the campaign trail. We sort through the noise and zoom in on what really matters, using data and research as we go. That's 538 Politics every Monday and Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Glucose levels, genetic testing, sleep logs, even...
You opted in for the hair and nail sample, so we don't do fingernails, we do toenails. So don't trim your toenails.
The National Institutes of Health's All of Us research program will collect more data on more types of people than ever before.
The hope for the impact is that we will be generating evidence on people who have traditionally not been part of biomedical research, so that eventually clinical care can be more personalized for everyone. So that's not only racial and ethnic minorities, but also sexual gender minorities, rural populations versus urban populations, lower income, lower education attainment. We can gather the evidence to really drive clinical practice for everyone.
The study's underway with the goal of getting 1 million or more people to join, so I'm in. With the same process as every participant, I head to one of their regional provider sites, this one at the University of California, Davis Medical Center. Over the course of 2 visits, they take blood.
It's going to go on your left wrist.
Give me a wearable to track activity and sleep, check my weight and body fat.
Weight measurement is completed.
Analyze my microbiome, gather a saliva sample, toenails, and even a hair sample if you opt in.
For science.
The scientists behind this study have already unearthed more than 275 million previously unreported genetic variants, half of which are from participants of non-European genetic ancestry. All this data will be used by future studies and scientists to improve medical care for all people. One subset of this endeavor is the Nutrition for Precision Health study that will use all of this data and more to create science-backed guidance for healthy eating that goes way beyond fad diets and the food pyramid.
The goal of the Nutrition for Precision Health study is to improve how people eat. And we want to do this by learning more about people. What are those factors that are going to help to predict the way they respond to different ways of eating? We can then develop tailored, personalized ways of eating for people to help them meet their health goals,
allowing everyone better and more equitable information about their health. Now, they say all of this data is anonymized for research, and they know many underrepresented Americans have a deep distrust of medical research because of so many historical injustices. And they say they have a diverse group of advisors who take the issues seriously, Michael.
Yeah, as they should, Becky. You know, scientists, they're going to use this data for decades to come. But if you're a participant, as you are, what kind of access do you have to that information? And if someone wants to participate, can they still enroll?
Yes, and the study is free. It's time-consuming, but it is still open for enrollment. The results I got are amazing. I get access to all my vitals, my DNA ancestry profile, genetic variants that are known indicators of disease, like, say, cardiovascular issues or cancer, even info on potential drug interactions, like one chemo drug that might not work well for me if I needed it. Those are all things I could talk to my doctor about. Also told me whether I'm predisposed to lactose intolerance. Nope. Flaky or sticky earwax, ew. Oh. And genetically, do I love cilantro or hate cilantro? I love it, and that's exactly what the DNA predicted. The website is joinallofus.org if you want to enroll. It's super interesting and really important to include everybody for the future of medicine, Michael.
Well, I'm glad you shared all your information. We would have violated HIPAA over here, all the laws if we were to get it out. But Becky, thank you. But it sounds really interesting, Becky. Thank you for bringing this to us. But I think your reaction to medicines and food and what's good, I mean, really interesting.
That was really interesting. Time to go back to Cleveland. Ike Ajachi live from the Cleveland Clinic with a few very special employers putting big smiles on pediatric patients. Good morning, Ike.
Hey, good morning, guys. Listen, I got to tell you, there are so many hearts, souls, and minds that go into saving lives here at Cleveland Clinic Children's. But there are also some pretty important paws, too, as you can see. Now, just in a little bit, we're going to introduce you to Kid and Trotter here. They're 2 very specialized facility dogs that work with pediatric patients, not to mention the connection they have with the community as well.
Here at Cleveland Clinic Children's, 2 special team members are making a positive impact. Meet Kid and Trotter, the resident facility dogs helping bring daily comfort and support to Cleveland's pediatric patients and their families.
Just being able to have them there to provide support to anxious kids and families is like nothing I've ever seen before.
The Golden Retrievers already helping more than 4,600 patients.
You can see the noticeable shift of a room when we walk into it, that the mood just seems lighter, kids are more engaging.
It's helping with treatment outcomes, it's helping with patient experience,
It's helping with staff resiliency.
5-year-old Eleanor is a cancer patient at the clinic, finding comfort in her medical journey by playing doctor with Kid and Trotter. Sometimes even painting their nails.
She smiles right away. Every time we're there, she's even before we go to the hospital, she's asking, can I see Trotter? Can I see Kid?
And while these pups can turn any rough day around, Kid is braving his own battle. The 6-year-old golden retriever diagnosed with lymphoma. Kid's journey documented online as he undergoes chemotherapy.
I feel like there's just this parallel and this irony that he has the same diagnosis as a lot of the patients that he works with. They feel like they can almost give back to Kid right now because of all the times that he's been there for them. He's almost finished with his first cycle, and his treatment goes throughout August, but so far he's doing really well.
Hey, I am so glad Kid is doing so much better. He's not here right now. He had a treatment yesterday, but he'll be back at it in no time. But listen, there are so many dogs like Kid, Kid and Trotter rather, all over the country providing help, kind of like Natasha and Melina here from University Hospital down the street. Hey, what's going on, y'all? But listen, joining me now is Molly and Rachel. They are Kid and Trotter's handlers. How y'all doing today? Good morning.
Great. Good
yes.
morning.
So tell me, what is so important about facility dogs at a place like this?
These dogs are so important because they're improving patient experience and they're really changing the outcomes for these patients and families.
Not only our patients benefit, but our caregivers and our families do too.
I mean, and you can really see it with the interaction they have with the children here at the hospital. But listen, I got to tell you, okay? Our friends at PetSmart, all right, they wanted to show you a little love, which is why they're bringing in all of these extra toys for Kid and Trotter. And they're also giving you a $1,500 gift card so they never run out of supplies. And don't worry, we're not ridiculous. Of course, Natasha and Melina will be getting the same exact thing. So here you go, guys. This is for you and just for the amazing work that you guys do.
Take this home for Kid.
There you go.
Thank you.
Back to you guys in New York. We're going to have some fun here with these dogs.
Thank you, Ike. That was terrific. What do we got, Sam?
All right, well, George, when I Google you, Janae, Washington, D.C. comes up. So let's start with Washington, D.C. 91 degrees yesterday, tied the record high. But today, we're substantially cooler. We're back into the 70s, 71, 72 degrees. Now, this is a little push of cool air that's just momentary. The heat is not going to break in places like Roanoke. Look at this all the way down to Richmond and get back into Pittsburgh, and it stays warm. This heat's going to make a big push next week. Watch this push of unusually hot temperatures go all the way across the Gulf and well up the eastern seaboard. We're already getting to 90, 100 degrees.
Yeah,
Never
you know what
fails.
that means.
Never
It
fails.
is time for the right stuff. Were you trying to do that little
Yeah,
jig
I was
thing
trying.
too? Yeah.
Sam will do it.
I've seen it.
This morning, Lori Bergamato is here mixing it up with blenders, bringing great picks based on what you need. Lori, let's get to it.
Let's get to it, Janae. So, and Sam, you know, 90% of American households own a blender. So we know you guys are making smoothies at home, you're making protein shakes, right?
Yeah.
But what do you need in your house? We've got the best overall. So this is from Vitamix, you guys. It might be a name you know. It's an industry leader.
Yeah, that's, when you think juicer, I think you think them, right?
This is really the gold standard. So this can hold 64 ounces. So if you're making large batch things for a family, right? And it makes short work of fibrous vegetables. I think that's the thing that a lot of blenders, they sort of run out of steam because they can't
you
handle.
can hear them grinding. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, they can't handle celery and carrots and things like that. This is like in no time at all. This is what you might even see in some professional smoothie places. You cannot like find anything that is this powerful. It is pricey, but it has a 7-year warranty. So you know when you buy it, you are good to go.
You're in.
That's amazing. Okay. Sometimes though, you just want something to blend and bolt, right? You don't want to take out the whole thing out.
On the go.
Right. So this is the Blend Jet 2. Do you want to give it a try? We have some ingredients here. You just press the button here.
That one in the front?
Yeah.
So it's easy, even Sam
go
easy?
for it. Go for it, Sam. Just press one.
Well, I've already messed it up.
Okay, well maybe that one's not charged, but essentially you just put it on. Woo! Okay, there we go. It would just go like that, and it would blend.
I already messed it up.
But what
Don't let
you
me do
didn't
this
mess it up. It's all good. But basically, you charge these with a USB.
Yeah.
So you get that power from there. You can take it on the go. They're lightweight. They're portable. They're on sale for $43 at Kohl's. This is great if you have just like one kid who wants a smoothie. You don't want to take everything out, and you can just.
Or you just want to take it to the gym.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Gym. Sam talking about the gym. I'm talking about
I was
kids.
gonna say,
It's all
we got
trash.
all the time for
Sam.
Sure, kids, watch.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the best value. So we know that people have personal blenders like that one, and we know that they have full-size blenders. But if you're looking for a value play, something that can kind of do everything, this Black & Decker one, we got this at Walmart. It's under $60. It can do everything. And a lot of times
for a good price.
Yes, with a budget blender, it can't handle ice. That's the thing that really does it in. But Janae, I'm going to just step over here.
Hey, don't let me try
and I'm
it
going to show you.
Come on.
Is this puppy on?
Yeah.
We're having some power issues today. But anyway, that we tried it earlier. That pulverized ice in no time at all. And it's quieter than a lot of other blenders. So a great thing to have in the house from Walmart. There you go. Okay, now sometimes you feel like a juice. Sometimes you feel like a smoothie. Guys, now you don't have to choose. This is the Blueser. You have the blending, the juice, and then you can bloose. So this is from Breville. You can bloose.
Is
Just
that
put it all
blend and juice together? Am I that slow that it took me that long?
Champion. A plus for you. So this is great. I'm going to put this one on too. Let's hope we have better luck here. And we have some beets in here and some apples.
Whoa.
There we go. There we go. So what's so great about this one is that it takes all that pulp out of there.
Plus it gives you that power tool kind of like excitement,
and
right?
it's one base and you get the 2 attachments. So not a ton of real estate.
Can I?
Yes,
is that
go
all right?
for it. Absolutely.
All right, good.
And then finally, sometimes you want the whole kit and caboodle. This is the aptly named Ninja. You guys, you get the 64-ounce blender, you get the food processor, you get 2 to-go cups. This is all for under $160. Very well reviewed on Amazon, so blend away.
You do beet juice without anything in it?
Right. No, I don't like a lot of sweetener or anything in it.
Oh my God,
I like
good
it just
for
as it
you.
is. Yeah.
On your way to the gym,
On my
bro?
way,
curious.
yes, taking care of everyone's kids.
Exactly. That gym life is doing you good.
I saw your half marathon.
Thank you so much, Lori. Coming up, we are live in Dallas for our final, the third one, ticket giveaway this morning, plus Hack Star Hannah. I'm Benders here.
We've been celebrating our Dallas ticket giveaway all morning long. Let's go back to Will Reeve in Dallas for the trifecta. Hey again, Will.
Hello again, Michael. Let's bring it home here. We have loved being in Dallas. We've got such great folks here, fans of all the teams. We've already given out tickets to the WNBA game with the Dallas Wings. We gave tickets and a trip for the Stars game in Vegas tonight. And now it is time for the main event. The Dallas Mavericks are here tonight trying to close out their series against the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And I am joined by 2 Mavericks superfans, Anthony and Tony Moreno. Anthony, we'll start with you. You are a basketball fan and you're a basketball coach. And what were you and your son doing on Wednesday night when the Mavs blew out the Clippers?
We were at home watching the game.
You were at home watching the game. You stayed up late for that blowout. Felt good. What are you feeling about tonight? How do you think it's going to go?
I feel like they're going to be a close game.
Going to be a close game, but...
A buzzer beater.
A buzzer beater?
Wow.
Okay, so you heard it here first. Buzzer beater, the Mavs are going to win? Mm-hmm. All right, well, just to make sure that the Mavs win and that the buzzer beater happens, we feel like you should be there to see it. So you guys are going to the game tonight. Mav, the mascot, come on. There you go. You are going to the Mavericks game against the Clippers tonight at American Airlines. Going to be a banger. Friday night in downtown Dallas.
Let's go.
We are done now, finally, with our ticket giveaways. Our thanks to the WNBA, the NHL, the NBA, and all of our friends here at Happiest Hour in downtown Dallas. What do we have to say?
Dallas loves GMA!
And give away tickets, guys.
You heard not a bad morning. You heard the kid call it buzzer beater for the Mavs. All right, we'll see how that works out. Thank you so much for that, Will. Now we're going to go to you, George.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with the Emmy-nominated actress and comedian Hannah Einbinder. She stars in the comedy series Hacks, back for a 3rd season. Welcome to GMA. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
My wife and I love Hacks. We cannot wait for season 3 tonight. You play Ava.
Thank you.
She's the writer for legendary comedian Deborah, played by Jean Smart,
So true.
of course. And season 2 ended on a cliffhanger. You were fired.
Yes.
Now, is it true you were worried you were also fired in real life?
I was. At the time, I definitely was still new to acting and also, had a little low self-esteem, like most people, I think. And I was just so, looking for validation of my greatest fear. And I called Jean and I was like, you think I'm fired? And she was like, no, you crazy girl. And yeah, so I'm past that, thank God. But yes, I did fear.
I was also reading that Ava is, you're channeling kind of your younger self. How so?
Yeah, I think when we meet Ava, she's a little bit like she feels young. She feels inexperienced and kind of like unsure of how the world works. And I think her work with Deborah kind of helps her to mature and grow. I think she's grown a lot over the course of the show.
Let's take a look at a clip.
It's giving Big Bird. Oh my God. You know nothing about fashion. You dress like you're about to have lunch on a steel girder.
Hey, whatever. You can wear whatever you want.
Yeah, I know I can, and I will. You know, it's just sad that you're so wrong about this. I mean, everybody loves this dress. Damien, Marcus, my stylist, all of her assistants.
Everyone on your payroll.
So much going on between the two of you, edgy relationship. How's it going to evolve in season 3?
You know, season 3, I think for Ava and Deborah is all about like boundaries and their common goal this season. They're working towards something in Deborah's professional life. And it's also like we are going to see a very stark shift in their dynamic. I don't want to give too much away, but it's definitely a jarring moment at the end there.
That is a very, very good tease. Deborah Jean Smart was here the other day. We asked her if she had anything to say to you.
Oh.
Tell her not to embarrass us like she usually does. And everybody should watch her special June 13th. She has a comedy special.
Really?
June 13th, yes. I know I'm here to plug my stuff, but I'll plug hers.
She's always looking out for you.
You know what's so funny? So my publicist texted me after Jean came on your show, and they were like, so we had not officially announced the date of the special, but we love it. We love it. We're happy. We wanted her to do. We want that. And so yes, the debut on GMA. How fabulous! Yeah, June 13th, baby. Check it out.
And that's your comedy special.
Yeah, it's called Everything Must Go.
We are looking forward to it. Thanks for coming in today. The new season of Hacks is streaming now on Max, and coming up, we are one-on-one with the activist and immigrant's daughter about to make history as she shoots for the stars.
We're back now on GMA with our celebration of Asian American and Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Month. Our Juju Chain spoke one-on-one with the Nobel Peace Prize nominee, activist, and astronaut. Holy cow, who's about to make history. Juju, good morning.
Good morning to you guys. This is absolutely astonishing. This is a story about a woman named Amanda Nguyen, who is an absolute warrior. She's a leading voice in the Stop Asian Hate movement, and she was named one of Time Magazine's Women of the Year in 2022. And she had set aside her own dreams of going into space to fight for the rights of survivors. But now, her dreams delayed are about to come true.
Amanda Nguyen has been reaching for the stars as long as she can remember.
I have a connection with the stars because it's what led my family to freedom.
Her mother's family, boat refugees from Vietnam, used the stars to navigate to safer shores. And now the immigrant's daughter is about to launch into an even vaster unknown, space.
It has always been my dream to be an astronaut.
We met up with Amanda at the Liberty Science Center in Jersey City, New Jersey. A fitting backdrop for the 32-year-old getting ready to make history as the first woman of Vietnamese descent to go into space.
Being the first Vietnamese woman is to let every young Vietnamese girl know that we belong.
It's a dream that almost didn't come true.
My name is Amanda Nguyen, and I am a rape survivor.
Fueled by frustration at the way her case was being handled, she started speaking out.
When I spoke up about my story, other survivors all across America had faced these issues too. How terrible is it to want to pursue justice, and yet the rate of conviction is 1%? What does that tell survivors?
In that moment, you felt as though you had to decide between justice and your life's dream.
Yes, and I couldn't live with myself if I chose not to pursue justice.
Amanda was a major driving force behind both Congress and the UN unanimously passing rights for sexual assault survivors.
What was it like the day that President Obama signed into law all that you'd been fighting for?
I let out this scream, that it felt like a curse was lifting.
But she never let go of her dreams to shoot for the stars.
When you got the word that this group, Space for Humanity, was like, we're gonna get you a ticket on Blue Origin, what was your reaction?
Profound gratitude.
Amanda posted this tribute to her mom, grateful for her sacrifices.
Mẹ ơi, mẹ đã vượt biên để con có thể bay cao.
Mẹ vượt đại dương để cho con có thể chậm cá vào trời. I am the dreams of my ancestors, and I am so grateful that that part of me, to the girl who existed before I was hurt, the child in me who loves the stars, my mom who crossed the ocean, I get to say to them, we'll get to fly to space.
Okay, goose pimples, everybody, right? Amanda tells me that on launch day, there is a bell that all the astronauts ring before they board the spaceship, and Michael Strahan confirmed that for me, and she is going to ring it loud and proud because her family, when they were fishermen, rang bells to go out to sea to prepare to flee as boat refugees, and she says it's her way of bringing her family with her on that trip.
Amazing.
An incredible
So
story.
Great story.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
really well told,
I know,
Juju. Thank you for that.
She's amazing.
Yeah. All right, Sam.
There is such power in that lady. All right, let's keep this
Yeah.
AA and HBI Heritage Month celebration going with this week's GMA Buzz Pick, Daughters of Sendong by Eve J. Chung, a sweeping debut novel and a family story inspired by her own. Here's Eve to tell us more about her story.
Good morning, America. I'm Eve J. Chung, author of Daughters of Sandong, which is based on my grandmother's story. It's about a woman and her 3 girls and how they were abandoned in China during the Civil War because daughters were considered worthless. While the rest of the family fled to Taiwan, my grandmother, at the age of 12, had to stand trial in her father's place. This book is about her survival and the fierce love that she had for her mother and her sisters. I wrote it as a tribute to the women in my family, and I hope that you'll read it with someone you love.
We will. Daughters of Sendong is available for pre-order now, so you can get it before anyone else can on our website. It's available everywhere next Tuesday. And in the meantime, keep reading along with us on our Instagram at GMA Book Club, guys. I'm missing. I need some music. I need the All right, now to National Small Business Week and the last installment of our series, GMA's Boosting Your Business. This morning, GMA lifestyle contributor Lori Bergamato takes a look at a program giving a leg up, really, to business owners.
That's right. You know, small business owners can face many barriers when it comes to growing and managing their companies, but there is help available. This segment is sponsored by Chase for Business, which offers a personalized program called Coaching for Impact to support and motivate entrepreneurs.
All right.
For best friends Tracy Green and Nancy Harris, feeling seen is just as important as the ability to see.
I lost a pair of glasses. I went to look for a replacement pair, and all of them were too tight. I always had indentations on my cheeks and on my nose, and I was just kind of fed up.
That frustration is what led them to attend an industry trade show, and what they saw would inspire their eyewear brand, Vontel.
There were thousands and thousands of people that were in attendance, and we realized that there was just no representation.
I was like, this is why glasses hurt. This is why I have indentations on my face or on my nose, because no one that looks like us are making glasses for us. And our face shapes, it was an aha moment for us.
Now the 2 co-founders are putting an emphasis on fashion, fit, and function, uplifting their clientele one bold frame at a time.
We drew most of the inspiration just being in Brooklyn. It is a melting pot of different cultures. We wanted to make sure that we represented the overall African diaspora. That was really important to us.
Even with their previous experience in finance and sales, navigating an uncharted industry proved difficult.
So good to see you.
Thank you for having us. Needing guidance, they joined a program from our sponsor, Chase for Business, to build Vontel from the ground up.
Chase for Business Coaching for Impact is a complimentary program where we actually have the opportunity to coach businesses one-on-one. It's nationwide, and we'll curate a curriculum specific to where that business is. We touch on a lot of different topics, whether it's access to capital, cash flow management, business development.
We knew that we wanted to grow, and it was really important that we received this type of mentorship and coaching and guidance. Chase put us in circles that could really help us expand our overall network.
Since launching the brand in 2019, Vontel has procured partnerships with local brands like here at the Harlem Haberdashery and nationwide distribution with America's Best.
We have been working with you guys at every phase of our business journey.
The program assisting Vontel and 5,000 other small business owners achieve their greatest aspirations.
If we're able to come alongside and provide subject matter expertise, then that business has a higher opportunity of succeeding, which means that the community will also have a higher opportunity of succeeding.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible? What a great launching pad it is for entrepreneurs. So you can scan the QR code on the screen to get more information about Vontel and Coaching for Impact on goodmorningamerica.com.
And those frames are hot.
A big thank you for watching, and big thank you to Sum 41 for that dopamine that we got this morning. And thanks to Ike and our Rise and Shine team in Cleveland. Have a great weekend.
Weekend GMA, watch it.
Step into the world of Hollywood like never before with Melissa Rivers' Group Text podcast. Melissa, renowned for her red carpet expertise and storytelling prowess, invites you to join her and her famous friends for hilarious and heartfelt conversations. From discussing the latest binge-worthy TV shows, navigating the highs and lows of life, and dissecting celebrity fashion, there is never a dull moment. With exclusive stories from special guests like Chelsea Handler, Cheryl Hines, your favorite reality stars, and deep dives into intriguing topics like the Where is Wendy Williams documentary, this podcast offers an insider's look into the glitz and glam of Tinseltown. It's not just Melissa's podcast. It's a collective experience where you're invited to join the conversation. So if you've ever wanted a peek behind the Hollywood curtain, subscribe to Melissa Rivers' Group Text podcast, now on your favorite platform. Get ready for laughter, tears, gossip. In other words, unforgettable moments that'll keep you coming back for more. Don't miss out. This is one group text you won't want to exit.